we were talking pre-record here. You have a very dialed in sales process, appointment process. Can you start to walk through what it is and kind of the why behind it and what you've learned as that's evolved?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do think, when you're going to, an audience with a call to action, having something that's about them that provides value to them is important. So, saying we're currently offering a free retirement assessment or a free analysis is very different than if you're looking for an advisor, give us a call, right? Like
Hmm.
that's about give us a call, right? Give my team a call. Um, and so, some sort of a compelling offer is required. Our free retirement assessment is essentially a light financial plan, a free light financial plan. What I've learned, I think many of us have learned over the years, is it's really hard for consumers to evaluate financial planners. We all have the same titles and designations. Our websites all look similar. We all engage and distribute similar content. And so um, I wanted to create a process that helped them evaluate us. So we offer this free light financial plan to show them exactly what we do and how we can help them. And we try to give away everything in the kitchen sink. Like we are not trying to hold back through this process. We have to limit our time. That's the only constraint as we manage our time through this process. But we try to answer as many of their questions and pain points as possible in this light financial planning process. So it starts with that introductory phone call. After that introductory phone call, if there's a mutual potential fit, we ask them to send us all account statements, most recent copy of tax return, and then they can schedule their next meeting with us, which is essentially a discovery meeting. So ahead of that meeting, we have all their full account statements and full most recent tax return, which allows us to pull some information out of there to ask some really good questions during that discovery meeting to ensure that we understand their current situation and what they're up against. From there, we ask them to give us at least 2 weeks to build their analysis, to build their assessment, and then we come back for that final presentation or proposal meeting where we deliver that assessment or light financial plan. And then after that, ball's in their court. We send them a very nice physical package with a few supporting materials, one of our favorite finance books at the time, a handwritten note, and our welcome packet. Our welcome packet is our client engagement standards coupled with our investment advisory agreement in a very nicely saddle-stitched, physically printed document. And we send it to them physically because there are some really important things in there I want to make sure they read. I don't want them to quickly e-sign a document. I don't want that. If somebody hires us, I want them to be a client for life. So I want them to read the client engagement standards. They have to initial next to like 10 different statements that what they're committing to. And I want them to read our advisory agreement. I want them to see the exact fee that they're paying and the services that we're providing and sign with an actual pen. And then we provide a paid return envelope for them to stick it in an envelope and send it back to us. If they're in our office for that final meeting, we send all this home with them. They cannot sign it in our office, take it home, review it again, talk with your spouse if one exists, and make a final determination.
Let's go to the initial agreement that the first thing that pops out in my head when they're going through with the pen and initialing, it's like you're getting commitment to, I'm assuming there's some behavioral commitments in that agreement.
Yep.
So if you don't mind sharing, what are like some, you said 10 or so, but like any that just kind of stick out to you that are like really important. I want them to commit to this if this is going to be a working relationship. What would some examples be?
Yeah. So my practice was a chaotic mess about 5 years ago. I worked with anyone and everyone. I was driving all around town to meet with clients in their homes. I was taking appointments on any day of the week. I was responding to emails on Saturdays, just no guardrails. It was a mess. And so I created the client engagement standards. I have to give a shout out to Carolyn McClanahan, who is, I think, the first advisor to develop these. And so I used hers as inspiration to create mine. I used the client engagement standards to help shift my practice and communicate to clients some of these important changes that I was making. So on the client engagement standards, it outlines what clients can expect from us. And then there's a section of what we expect from you. And that's a section where there's about 10 sentences that they have to initial next to. One of them is we only meet with clients on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays between 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. our time, not their time, our time. We meet with our clients formally twice per year, in the spring in May and in the fall in October. We followed up by saying our office doors are open throughout the year, but these are our formal meeting blocks. They're required to, one of the sentences is about our investment philosophy, something about them. If they're not going to follow our recommendations, then we're not the right fit, right? You know, if you're going to go wing it and decide one day you're going to go put everything in NVIDIA stock and not follow our recommendations, then, you know, we'll part ways as friends. So what this helps with, not only like the initial commitment and them knowing what they're getting themselves into, but if you're ever tested in the future, client says, I need to meet with you tomorrow, and tomorrow's a Friday, or I need to meet with you tomorrow at 7 p.m. We can use the client engagement standards to say, here's what we committed to. And if this no longer aligns with what, you know, your needs are, then perhaps we're not a good fit. And we lost one client as a result of something similar to that. And just before, you know, listeners on the other end here think I'm a crazy person or I'm not sensitive to people and what's going on in their life, there is a sentence in there that says, if there's an emergency, we'll do anything and everything possible, right? So this is like normal day-to-day business. If something terrible happened and there's an emergency,
death in the family, like big life-changing event.
I mean, yeah.
I love that. I mean, Cialdini's influence, I remember reading that, and it's like people are more likely to follow through if they say something, and it was like 3 or 4x more likely if they write it down. And all you're doing is you're just like, you're memorializing an agreed upon partnership, just like a legal contract. And guess what? Humans forget things.
Yeah.
And now when something pops up, we do this with our 13-year-old that just got his first cell phone. We have a 1-page contract. It's on the fridge. And when he doesn't follow through, hey, remember you initialed right here, buddy. Phone's up for a day.
Yeah.
So like it works with all human engagement. And I just love the fact you're formalizing it. And guess what? You're also making a commitment. So I'm assuming like, hey, here's what we commit to. And I'm assuming if you don't follow through on that, you're fine with clients saying, hey, Taylor, you guys said you would do this and you're not doing it. Like, let's go.
100%. Yeah. And one thing that popped in my head too, that I didn't mention is those sentences are written in a way that provides a reason for the thing. So it's not like we only meet on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays because we said so. It's like to ensure that we can be fully present during your meetings, ensure that we have time to prepare. We use our Mondays and Fridays to do our research, to prep for client meetings, to do our planning work, so that during our meeting on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, we are fully present with you. And so there's always a reason that benefits them for why we do something, you know, to ensure that you can, you know, safely navigate retirement and not run out of money. We require that you follow our recommendations and don't go rogue on us, right? So it's not just like you have to listen to us because we're, you know, in charge. So I want to make that clear too, that everything is written in a way that benefits them. It's not just because this is the way we do things.